The lengths I'm going to are extreme. She's ashamed to be associated with me. I don't blame her. Okay, on to Cincinnati. Yeah, for real.
If you don't know who Rachel Hollis is a self-help influencer and author who wrote the mega best-selling book, Girl, Wash Your Face. Rachel has been canceled or, criticized several times in the media for plagiarizing. She also made a very insensitive TikTok where she compared herself to Harriet Tubman and Amelia Earhart and Oprah, and also telling people she does not want to be relatable to most people.
What is it about me that made you think I want to be relatable?
That TikTok came out in 2021, and since then, Rachel has been trying to rebuild her career, and this speaking tour, podcast tour, whatever we're calling it, is an effort to rebuild her image. So it was time for me to go and see it for myself in person. And of course, I had to rock my Choose Sadness face mask, and then after an hour and a half delay, no big deal, we were up in the sky and landing in Cincinnati.
All right, so landed, it's 2 a.m. basically. I'm in Cincinnati looking for the car that I rented on Turo. This video, not sponsored by Turo.
Gotta love that suitcase footage. I found the car and then I drove like a bat through hell. And then as soon as I got in, I passed out because I was exhausted.
So it's morning after my travel experience. I'm in the Airbnb currently. So I got here on Thursday, the actual event, the big life-changing women empowerment, my personal development is gonna go off the chart. That event is gonna be on Saturday. So I have a little time to explore Cincinnati. I've never been here before. The Airbnb is pretty cool. It's actually like very tall ceilinged and like very old school, original. Look at this door. This is the bedroom door. This looks like I'm going into like the butcher shop or something. Look how high the ceilings are. I know this video is not about the Airbnbs in Cincinnati, but couldn't it be a little bit? Anyways, I'm gonna drink some coffee and then get outside so I can enjoy this time here.
And enjoy my time here, I did. Look at that fall weather. All the blogs that I looked at before traveling here said you must go to Findlay Market, so I did what I was told, and here we are. And I will agree, it is a great choice, especially for someone who is just getting acquainted with the city. It had a lot of options. And I have a huge sweet tooth, so they had a lot of sweet options and a lot of waffles. Waffles was a big part of Cincinnati, so I got a waffle sandwich and a kombucha because I'm that type of girl. And I had to finish off my lunch with something sweet, obviously, like I said, so I got some cookies and cream fudge.
Give me some fudge. Very good.
But I couldn't leave the area before taking a picture with this baseball head guy. One of those photos that I'll never use other than this video, but here, it does exist. And then I strolled around the city a little bit more, took a look at some artwork, and it was starting to get later, so I looked for a spot to watch the sunset. Well, who am I? And they had multiple options of lookout points to watch the sunset. I picked this one. And since I was alone, I figured I would listen to some of my favorite tunes.
Why do you follow me if you don't already own my book?
My new hobby is rock climbing, so now every time I travel, it's something I can try out because all the gyms are different and every gym in a new city has like different styles of climbing and bouldering and different things, and it's fun. It's a fun activity to go do on vacation. It's definitely a workout, but it's not like going for a run. We're gonna go check out Cincinnati's bouldering gym.
Okay, so I found a gym called Climb Cincy. It was only $15 for a daily pass. I think that's pretty good compared to San Diego where it was like $60 for a day pass. I am not complaining about the prices around here. And like I said, I'm new to this sport, so I tried to complete this problem and this is the results. And now it was getting pretty late, so of course I had to hit the town and go crazy. Just kidding, this is how I spent my night.
outfit check. Hey, is this a good way to show my outfit? There's like no mirrors in this house other than this one. And there's the street. I'm actually just going to breakfast, but this is what I'll be wearing all day because I only packed 2 outfits. Okay, see you later. I'm not gonna show this while I'm actually driving, but I am driving a Prius for the first time. I got really confused. Excuse me, I got really confused when I first got in the car. So I was like, where's the shifter? So in my car, it's like here, you know, regular. And when I had a stick shift car, it was there too. But for Priuses, it's like up here next to the like radio. But anyways, I've really enjoyed driving this car. I've driven all over the place, and it's gone down 0%. So 20 years late, Priuses are amazing.
Again, I'm going to reiterate that I have a sweet tooth. So when I saw Sugar and Spice Diner, I was like, all right, found my spot. And I may never see the Sistine Chapel, but this is a close second. I really like this pancake mural that was on the wall of this restaurant. So Rach Talk Live does not start till 7 o'clock, so I had a little bit more time before I had to get ready for the event, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna go on a little boat tour. I love taking these in new cities because you get to see the skyline pretty well. I've taken tours in Austin and Charleston and Pittsburgh, so it's always usually under $50 for the most part, and it's a couple hours on the water. And they usually talk about the history of the city, and I just love doing this when I travel. And we even got to see one of the most historic sites on the river, this Hooters. Gotta love Hooters. And now that the boat has docked, I am ready to go to Rach Talk Live. It is time. It is Saturday night, baby. We are ready to be personally developed. Here's the venue where it was all going down. And here's the first look right through the front door. Not much branding. There is these tombstones that say, I love you and I'm rooting for you. No comment further on that. And if you were doubting for a second that Rachel still has fans, well, you would be sorely mistaken. Look at this merch line. It is like people were waiting. They were rooting and waiting for the ability to buy journals and books. And here, as promised, a lot of people wanted to see the venues from the front. There was no one sitting in the top 2 sections of the auditorium, just the bottom floor. And there is a familiar face, or at least a familiar name. That's Jack, the videographer who Rachel always references in all of her Rach Talk videos. And there's your girl. I have a different mask on because I didn't want to alert people or have anyone ask me what choose sadness means at a Rach Talk event. So I went with a little bit more of a subtle face mask on this shot. And the event is about to begin.
You're ready for Rach Talk Live. Please help me welcome my friend to the stage, our host, our girl, Rachel!
If you want a minute-by-minute breakdown of what went down at this event, I posted a live stream, and I also had a full-on live chat with Kendra from Kendra Creates on YouTube. She went to the show in Joliet, so we compared notes and talked about different things that Rachel talked about. So if you're looking for those details, I will link those videos in the description below. And here's a little snippet of part of the beginning of the show.
I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe that it's an accident that you are sitting in this exact seat, in this exact room on this night right now. And maybe it's because I'm gonna say something or Hassan's gonna say something that you need to hear tonight, but it also could be because the person next to you is your new best friend, your hype squad, your mastermind partner, your business partner.
There was a lot of this get out of your seat and dance type activities. Rachel had alluded that every city was going to have a custom song that they chose, but poor old Cincinnati didn't get a choice. We were forced to dance to whatever they chose for us. So finally, to end the night, Rachel brings up her staff, which apparently is made up of her friends and family, and they all took shots on stage, which is fine, but I find it very odd because Rachel has talked a lot in the past about being an alcoholic and struggling with alcohol dependency. So the fact that she's never explained what she did to get herself out of that and continues to promote alcohol so heavily on her platform, I'm just a little bit confused about her messaging.
I raised my hand and said, I struggle with this and I feel like a bad mom and I was an alcoholic. We have watched y'all drink in every single city, but we never get to have a drink. I was like, let's just do a shot. So can you guys do a shot with us? I mean, why not? It's the last night of tour, Cincinnati. Do we all have it? All right, cheers. Cheers, you guys. Cheers. Cheers each other. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Here's to the dreamers. Yeah? And you may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Cincinnati! Till I see you next time, I want you to remember, I love you, and I'm rooting for you.
And there she goes, full sprint ahead. Bye, Rachel.
Okay, I'm just leaving the venue now, walking back to the car, and first impressions. I was bored a lot. I mean, as someone who studies the Bible of Rachel, there was no stories that I had not already heard. So number one, no hot goss, no piping tea. There was a little bit of Dave slander, but just the mildest version of it. Heard about peeing her pants several times, more than 3, less than 10. But I will say, overall, it looked like people were happy. I saw a lot of people buying the merch. The merch was like old stuff. Nothing was new other than the routine shirts, which once I got there at like, I think it was like 10, 15 minutes into doors opening, they were gone or they weren't there. But a lot of people bought journals. A lot of people bought books and tote bags that said, I love you and I'm rooting for you. And everyone said, oh my God, she's hilarious. That's what I heard people talking about. A lot of people crying. I saw at least 6 people leave, but they could have also been snarkers. I don't know. They weren't really paying attention very closely to begin with, and then they left before the show was over. I will say also, the meditation, she did not shut the up for 1 second to allow any sort of thoughts other than hearing her voice in your head. I just don't think she doesn't like to hear her own voice. Bottom line, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It was very much like, if you really liked her as a person and you wanted to hear that person talk about themselves for 2 hours, you would love it. Did I get anything out of it? I mean, of course I didn't get anything out of it because I'm going in with a negative mindset. But did anyone get things out of it? Maybe. I don't think there was anything other than, hey, here's a funny story. That means that you should not give up on your dreams. She didn't call anyone out from the audience, so there was no interaction at all. And she just basically talked about stuff I've already heard on her podcast, and that was it. She ran off stage, took the shot, ran off stage, and that's it. Okay, so I'm back at the Airbnb, and I, had a sip of my Gatorade. Now I can kind of breathe and give a little bit more of a final thought on all of this. I think this event and this whole tour and covering Rachel in such a deep way, and deep meaning like not necessarily like introspective and smart, but deep like listening to hours of her talking and really trying to grasp the narrative that she tells online. The real lesson I learned was not delivered by Rachel. The lesson I learned on this trip specifically was that I can do things by myself, but that's not ever gonna be learned from a conference. That's never gonna be learned from Rachel Hollis talking about her peeing on the floor. These are life experiences that you can learn by just doing things. If you want to start a podcast, if you want to write a book, if you want to, be a better mom or whatever the Rachel says that people's goals are, you're not going to do it by listening to other people talk about why and how you should do it. You just got to do it. But the longer that you wait, going to these conferences, listening to these gurus, putting stock in what they're telling you and giving the secrets, and they're promising you the world, that your heart's gonna change and blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Spend exactly the ticket price of the conference or the event that you're thinking about and go to dinner by yourself, and you'll learn more from that than anything else. That's my thoughts as I sit and not pack in this Airbnb that is going to cave down on me on any second now. So take that with a grain of salt. Look what I deal with, okay? These are the types of places I stay in when I travel. Who the am I to tell you any advice? Anyways, I have a flight very early, aka in like 3 hours. I gotta be at the airport, so I have to pack. So those are my final thoughts. I'll probably have new ones tomorrow, and I hope you'll be there to listen to them. Bye! Rooting!